Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 492 for the week of Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
Oh.
And Charlie.
Of course, that would be Toby, not Kevin, because he just...
What are you talking about? Kevin never misses a week.
I just don't. I just don't understand. Anyway.
Well, the funny thing is, you guys all think I'm referencing Kevin Short. I'm actually referencing Kevin from Overcooked, the little dog that never speaks.
Not DJ Heaven?
Nope, that's something else entirely.
Okay. We don't have a ton of news stories this week. However, there is a something I do want to talk about before we get started with our main podcast.
Well, this is going to be the 30-minute podcast, right? Because we're doing 7 hours next one.
That's
when are we recording that?
Tuesday. Very, very long podcast.
Oh, jeez. Are we starting earlier?
Hold on. We'll get to it. Do you know what today is? Do you guys know what today is?
March 16th.
That is correct.
2021.
What happened March 16th, 2020?
Nothing
we went
good.
into lockdown.
I screamed at Brock at about noon and said, Brock, get your ass down to FedEx and pick up our pallet that's sitting there. We're going into lockdown tomorrow. This is the 1-year anniversary of Santa Clara County locking down for coronavirus, in which we were shut. The store was closed for 6-8 weeks. What was it?
It's about 2.5 months.
So was it that long?
Well, we were
It's
closed.
like 10 weeks?
It was almost till the end of May, remember?
No, it was to the end of April. It was not to the end of May.
No, May we had people in?
Front door.
Oh, just coming to the front, yeah.
Yes.
But like
and
actually in store, that was the end of May.
I want to say end of May. That sounds right.
Then we had to let the customers back in.
It has been, it both feels like a year and then feels like a decade and then feels like 10 minutes.
So I'm trying to remember the timeline. Did the store go into lockdown first, or did Diamond stop shipping new product first?
We went into lockdown first. Diamond stopped shipping. We got the following week's delivery. Yeah. So Monday afternoon, Gavin Newsom says the entire state's in. Well, no, let me rephrase that.
No, that was
Bay Area went down into lockdown. 6 counties went into lockdown.
Yeah, Friday. The Friday that they did before. That was the Friday. So the announcement was Friday, and then they went into official lockdown. Or they were saying we're going to announce it Monday is what the Friday announcement was.
Friday was when they did like the big. That's when all the tech companies closed. Well,
because the schools closed. Because remember, I didn't have work that Monday because it was a holiday.
Right. The schools had closed. I think Fridays the schools had closed. Leanne was at school on Monday at San Jose State. At San Jose State or the other one. I can't remember. I think it was San Jose State. So, but very, very quickly, Bay Area. And then I think all of California was like very, very shortly after. So our pallet was sitting at FedEx for pickup on Tuesday. And I told Brock, I'm like, fucking just go and get it on Monday because we don't know.
Yeah.
It's sitting there. We have no idea. The FedEx might close. We just don't know.
Yeah, there was no mask mandate at that point. I went up and just got it. And
yeah. So the next week, Charlie, those books for Diamond were already being processed and shipped in the days after we closed. So those books were already coming. I'm 99% sure it was the following week. I think we got 2 shipments.
Yes, there was 2 shipments
before they stopped. Man, it's what a fucking year.
The adjustment,
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable,
to it, right? It's like we go to full lockdown, and then we adjust.
Were we remote recording too?
Yeah, you were. Like I think that first week we didn't record. We didn't record because everything was up in the air. We didn't know what was going on. And then the next week, I think that's when we tried to start recording again.
Yeah, because I did a couple of weeks where we did where we did just random talking to everyone and kind of catching up with everyone. Actually scroll back in the podcast. Let me look. Yeah, I can't remember if we recorded remote prior to that. That's the
No, we weren't remote prior to that. I don't think.
It wasn't. Okay. Yeah,
we had the few Discord 3rd, recordings.
10th. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we recorded on the 10th and the 17th. No, yeah, we never missed a podcast. Yeah, we recorded on the 17th. Yeah.
That might have been.
My notes are this week we discussed the collapse of society and the Bloodshot movie.
So because we talked about that. We talked that was the first thing we talked about.
Yeah,
on distance podcasting.
Yeah, that was the entire podcast. Yeah, so the week prior, Toby got back from his European vacation where he may have been exposed to coronavirus.
For an asshole that doesn't like Trump spreading lies, you're sure like to spread some bullshit.
I'm 99% sure you got coronavirus from the Joker and gave it to me because I got super sick.
The Joker was passing different kinds of gas. It's not a virus. It was gas that makes people laugh.
It was Ryan. It was my kids. It's just the flu. Calm down.
I don't think it was gas that was making people laugh. I believe it was all those pills they were giving you because you're at fucking some Joker rave or something, whatever the hell you were doing.
It was the carnival. And it was not pills. It was fresh fucking beer, so fresh that they just keep handing you new glasses the minute you finish. Like before you finish, there's a new glass that just appears. It's fucking amazing. And you'll never drink beer the same way again or think of it the same way after you had fresh fucking beer like served to you. So, one after another, after another, after another, after another.
So have you been wanting this the whole lockdown?
What?
I'll go back to it. So at this point, Charlie and Toby, you guys had already been left work, right? Your works had already gone remote.
Well, let me remind you guys.
Yeah, my work went remote before all the shutdown started. I had already been working from home like a week or two.
Yeah.
I like to say that the best sport has started all of this by shutting down, and literally basketball. The next day, the whole country shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, well, basketball was that Sunday, right? They shut down in the middle of a game, right?
Yeah. Well, they shut one game down, and the other one they wouldn't start, even though everybody was there, and they sent everybody home. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a year on every element. Just unbelievable in every single regard. But I really want to thank the comic community and our listeners and customers from the shop, and God,
our online customers that we might never know who they are, but thank you.
Yeah, we just didn't know, right? I mean, I was happy for the vacation, but terrified because I thought I was out of business. I had no idea what was going to happen.
So I remember you distinctly going, "Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to pay you."
Yeah. And I'm like, I had no clue, right?
And I'm like,
I had no idea.
I'm like, don't worry about paying me. Let's just make sure the store is going to be okay so that you can pay me.
Yeah, it was a wild month or two, just trying to figure out what was going to happen. I mean, I'm sure I mentioned this at the time, right? But this is the first time in the history of comic books of the entire medium that they stopped publishing. World War II did nope. They kept going. Vietnam, everything. They never stopped. They never missed a week ever. So yeah, this is unprecedented in the last 100 years. So. We vaccines are doing good. Brock, you got your first shot.
I got my first Pfizer shot, so I get my second one
coming soon.
Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Hopefully, the rest of us get ours in the not too distant future.
And then I think April 10th.
Yeah, it's a couple.
Will be about the time that I'm fully inoculated from the second one.
Yeah, I know Leanne got her first one, so we'll see. Hopefully, everyone that can get them gets them soon. Everyone the
arm soreness is true.
For
the first shot.
our mutual friend Rafi, one of the guys from the shop, he said that second shot knocked him on his ass.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I already talked to Marshall and said, yeah, I might be calling you on Saturday.
Yeah, totally.
and he said, well, do you want to skip it now? And I'm like, no, because if I'm fine, I'll come in. But if I'm not, I don't want to change everything up unless I have to. So
yeah, I've heard pretty conflicting things. Obviously, everyone can react a little differently to it. But yeah. So,
like, I didn't feel the needle. Like,
yeah, I've gotten. I mean,
like,
shots
they
before. They're fine.
And they put it in. You don't even notice it. You're like, what? Did you do something to me?
Yeah,
and then you know, your arm slowly starts to be painful, and then by the time you go to bed, that's where you're like, oh, that's tender if you like lay on it.
I mean, it's like getting the flu shot. Yeah, it's usually fine at the time, but yeah, the next day or something like that.
Next day, it was like it hurt a little in the morning, and then started to taper off. So. Yeah,
he said it was really just one day that knocked him on his ass, and the next day he was totally fine.
Yeah, that's the second shot. No, the first shot is
the first one's usually nothing.
It's just arm pain. So
that's I mean, like I said, it's been a heck of a year. We're gonna celebrate by watching the Snyder Cut of Justice League in a day and a half. So
well, you do realize
happy 1 year anniversary shutdown.
Well, you do realize that not only are we celebrating 1 year of lockdown, in 2 weeks we will be celebrating 10 years of this podcast.
Tell me about it. So I'm going to share a series of texts from earlier this morning.
Oh geez.
You can try to guess who I shared these texts with.
Bryce Larson.
So in my first text, I said, so is a 75 on Rotten Tomatoes high enough to get you to watch the Snyder Cut this weekend and record with us on Tuesday? He sent me a laughing emoji. And he said, tonight? I said, no, next Tuesday. It's out on Thursday on HBO Max. He said, a 75? I might watch it. The wounds from the first viewing have long since scabbed and scarred. I said, it's 4 hours. He replied, oh, for fuck's sake. and facepalm emoji. So I shouldn't have told him how long it is. I wanted him to hit play and went, how long is this? But we may have a Bryce sighting next week.
Oh,
because
so we're recording
so it's not 7 hours. It's going to be like 14.
I'm just going to call into work the next day. It's just easier.
So Snyder Cut. Yeah, we'll see.
We're going to start at 6 and end like at 3.
Well, just like watching the movie. But we will have lots to say next week about the Snyder Cut. And, well, we should have lots of... Man, you know, it's not only that. I don't know who said it was the week after. You guys get your dates wrong. Falcon Winter Soldier is this Friday.
Yep.
They did it to this Friday?
No?
Yeah. No, it was always this Friday. I don't know who said it was next week. I was like...
I thought it was a week after.
No. So double baby. We're going to have Snyder Cut and Falcon Winter Soldier.
And 2 hours of Falcon Winter Soldier, right? Because they're dropping the first two?
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know.
So we will have a...
but you know what's going to happen?
Chunky podcast next week.
So
you know
it was good talking to you guys today.
Gotta start resting up for next week already.
Yeah, so we have to thank our Patreon listeners.
So let's see. That's a lot to do in one episode. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
I have a feeling Falcon is going to get deferred to the following week, unless it's like WandaVision level.
We'll defer it and then talk about it every week.
If we have Bryce on, he's not going to allow us to defer it. He's going to be like, it's just because it's Marvel, and then he'll just spend 2 hours
he won't watch it
cussing out Ryan, and then admit he never got around to watching Falcon and Winter Soldier.
He exactly. He would have not watched it, but he will talk about it for 2 hours. Do we know if he watched WandaVision?
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm kind of curious, actually.
Yeah.
Oh God, if he did watch it and he starts talking about that, is that where we just let go? Like, we just walk away and just let him talk and talk and talk, and then wake up the next morning and then he's still talking?
That sounds like Bryce. So we will see. We will see what happens. We'll see if we can rope him on. We're gonna try. I know Kevin's gonna be on. Toby's gonna be on. Charlie, you ready? You watch it? You gonna be?
I'm definitely going to be watching. As long as I don't have a conflict with work or anything, I'll be on.
All right, it's gonna be a big group. Let's talk about some news. Like I said, short podcast. We got some Q&A. We'll do that. A couple questions. And then, one question. And then we will be done. Nice short episodes you can prep for next week.
So we're going to be an hour and a half tonight. Good to know.
That's fine. AT&T, just like Disney did the other month, where their Investor Day briefing turned into basically like a mini Comic-Con Hall H panel. AT&T had a briefing and they revealed a nice little list of all of their upcoming properties and things in production and some level of post-production. And there's all sorts of cool stuff on this list, but there's a few things that it was not like 100% official, or we didn't quite know what was going on. So of course we have Black Adam, the Harley Quinn show for HBO Max, Superman and Lois, which, oh boy, man, we might just have to take 10 minutes to talk about how good Superman and Lois is.
I haven't watched it yet.
Which is getting a movie, the Blue Beetle movie. Peacemaker getting that TV show. Green Lantern, that's gonna be on HBO Max is Green Lantern HBO or HBO Max?
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
It's HBO Max. At least when they originally announced it.
Yeah. Aquaman 2 movie, of course. The Flash movie, which is actually in pre-production. Like, they're filming is not the right word, but I think they've started. Maybe they've started filming. I don't know, but they're working. Teen Titans Go, Suicide Squad, the Batman just wrapped up filming. Not much really to talk about that, but obviously.
Not going to mention the Teen Titans Go spinoff.
Which Teen Titans Go spinoff?
They're going to do a Teen Titans Go: The Night Begins to Shine series.
Oh dear God!
Like a cartoon?
Yeah, so I don't know if you got to that point in Teen Titans Go, but they have a whole like 80s heavy metal like universe that they established in that show called based on the song "The Night Begins to Shine."
Okay, I think I remember that.
That's getting a spin-off.
Huh.
That world.
I don't know if I saw that. Shazam 2, Batwoman. It's funny, there's two Suicide Squad logos here. I don't know what that means.
One's for the video game.
GCPD, which is going to get that show. DMZ, which is going to show up.
Yeah.
Superhero High, doing more of those. Gotham Knights, the game. Now, League of Super Pets. I'm excited for that. But the one that I think caught a lot of people off guard. Well, there's a Batgirl, which had been talked about on and off through the years. It's funny, there was a Nightwing movie at one point, but I don't know what the deal with that is.
Well, they're waiting for me to have a career first. So I appreciate that. WB appreciate that.
But they have on here Zatanna. Now, this is one that I've been really hoping for. There was a Justice League Dark thing that J.J. Abrams was producing. I don't know if that's happening. There was a Constantine series that got announced a little while ago. Again, it's cool when they announce stuff, but for a lot of this shit, like, okay, well, show me a trailer. Zatanna, though, man, do I want a Zatanna show. I really, really want, or movie. I really want a Zatanna something. She's such a great character. And, we've had a number of Constantine things, and it's great when she shows up in that. And I love Justice League Dark. Do not get me wrong. Holy crap. Justice League Dark would be amazing. But Zatanna is such a good character. She's an origin that totally makes sense for a movie or TV. They can totally flesh that character out. Tons of great stories. Her power is so fun.
We can all finally know how to pronounce stuff backwards.
Yeah. Of all the new projects, Zatanna by far is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I really want this to be a thing. Whether it's a movie, a TV show, it doesn't matter to me. I'm down with anything. But I really want Zatanna. I don't know. We'll see what they do. Excited for Zatanna. All right. We have a couple small things, some comic book stuff. Like I said, very, very little to talk about this week, but that's okay. I don't. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Superman and Lois. We'll have some extra time. Green Arrow. Well, so we're in the era where tons of DC characters are having anniversaries, and Green Arrow is the next one. I feel like JSA. I think we missed JSA's 80th anniversary. I'm very surprised they didn't do something for that. But Green Arrow, he has not had a comic in a little while since the last series ended. But been hoping they'll bring that back soon. But they are going to do a Green Arrow 80th anniversary 100-page spectacular. So they're going to have a bunch of variant covers by all sorts of super great artists, including Michael Cho, Neil Adams, Gary Frank, Howard Porter, Jim Bartel. A lot of great people. Obviously, Mike Grell is going to do a story. Jeff Lemire, Phil Hester, Otto Schmidt, Ben Percy, Tom Taylor, Devin Grayson, Stephanie Phillips, Marika Tamaki, Ram V, Vida Ayala, Nicola Scott, Chris Mitten, Laura Braga, other people. So a lot of people that have worked with Green Arrow in the past. So good to see Green Arrow getting a little anniversary special. I always like that stuff. I don't know what who's next. It's got to be someone next. I'm not sure who the next one is.
The JSA's anniversary was November 22nd of 1940. They were released in All-Star Comic number 3. So last year was their 80th.
Yeah. I know there'd be a Joker and Catwoman and all those last year. I know Wonder Woman's this year, and they're gonna do something humongous for Wonder Woman, obviously. So yeah, lots of big creators. Always like those anniversary books. I'm always a big fan of these big anthologies. And, I don't want these every year, but I'll give the 80th anniversary. That's a good one. Now, this is actually kind of a bit of a surprise, and I wonder what this means for the future of DC here. There was a new announcement of a new Black Label book, and that is a creator-owned horror series by James Tynion IV and Alvaro Martinez Bueno. It is called The Nice House on the Lake, a 12-issue horror series. Obviously, James Tynion's DC's one of the biggest writers at this time. Run on Batman's been massive, and Something to Kill the Children for Boom is a huge hit. What's interesting is a couple of years back, DC basically stopped all new creator-owned titles with the shuttering of Vertigo as a brand or as an imprint. I guess the Hill House stuff, Joe Hill, I'm gonna guess those are creator-owned, but it was like a little imprint. It was kind of a specialty line.
Yeah, it was like his imprint through Black Label. So.
Well, yeah, but they were for a while there. They were giving like Bendis his particular line for his creator-owned work and that kind of stuff. So it's not, but doing it through sort of like a DC proper, like a Black Label imprint directly is surprising.
Yeah, my one thing that I made, and obviously this is something that's been in the works for a while, so it's not like this changed in the last couple of weeks, but when we had the retailer meeting for Comics Pro, was that a month ago or so, one of the things I told DC was, man, I understand you guys want DC the brand, and I totally get it. I don't know if Vertigo as a name will come back. Again, I understand. However, man, do I miss Vertigo. I love those books, the creator-owned stuff, I love superhero stuff. I love the main DC books. I always have, and I always will. But Vertigo just gave us something more unique, and I hope this is a good sign that Black Label may take over Vertigo's role of doing more. You do the oddball stuff with the main characters, but then you can do stuff like this. And really, why would Warner Brothers want these guys to go to Image? Lock them in.
Yep.
With your own company, you don't even have to license. I mean, you license it obviously, but it's like it's there. You like first option goes to Warner Brothers to make a TV show or movie or video game or whatever the property is. Like, why? Like,
because
why not? Why would you want the stuff farmed out?
There's something is killing the children. Like was picked up or whatever within a year.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing anything with that. Department of Truth was.
Oh yeah,
Department of Truth got
picked
up for what do you want?
But I think Department of Truth got picked up because of the attention that he got for something is killing the children.
Yeah, I'm sure. Department of Truth. I mean, just immediately was.
But I mean, how many printings has there been of number one for there's something is killing the children?
A couple, not crazy, but yeah, I think they're on like their fourth or fifth printing of Department of Truth. So yeah, they've hauled ass on that one. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm really hoping this means more Critter and stuff at DC. They've got good creators, and I hate to see them lose them. It's Marvel tried, right? They tried for a couple of years, but they dropped it entirely. And that's when Bendis went over to Marvel. And it's unclear because I want to say Bendis' stuff is no longer on DC Universe, so that exclusive deal with DC may have already fallen through. That I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I saw some weird reports a while ago that were rumoring that they were ending certain exclusivities and stuff, but
yeah. It could be that it just took a while for Didio's influence to kind of clear through the company, and the new people in charge are changing up. I have no insider knowledge of any of the stuff, but I've noticed a significant increase of graphic novels and a significant lack of cancellations of graphic novels.
Oh God, the amount of omnibuses coming out. Charlie, how are you? And Toby, how are you guys? Just not going to get like
better than I do. That's for sure.
I mean, a lot of what I'm happy to see is a lot of the reprints and stuff have been sort of solicited on both the Marvel and DC side recently. But yeah, it's there's been a lot of stuff solicited recently where I'm like, that took a really long time, and I don't understand why.
Well, yeah, because like, are we going to get those final deluxe Tom King Rebirth hardcovers?
So I think we're going to get the final Tom King Rebirth hardcovers, but I think you're going to see like a Williamson omnibus of Flash before they ever put out like a volume 4. Like I think they're done with the deluxe hardcovers for like Flash and a lot of the other series, but I get the impression because they don't need much more for the King stuff. I think they just need to put out one more, if I recall.
It might be 2 because there was some. You got the annuals, and I want to say there was
through a volume 5. Yeah,
because there's 80 something, so they would need at least one. So yeah, Ryan, any news on it?
No, but they're doing stuff. I have no doubt that that's going to finish up.
Yeah,
whatever.
And just like I have no doubt that there will be an omnibus after they put out the final volume.
Yeah, whatever trigger was happening before that was these books were not getting enough orders. They just published a Richard Dragon hardcover. So fuck, like the sky's the limits now. Everything is getting done. Whoever, whether that was Didio, whether that was someone else, whether that was corporate, whether that was just sales. I mean, maybe just sales have picked up incredibly. I have no idea, but DC and Marvel too.
We do know sales have picked up incredibly. That is well known.
Well, and I think on this last FOC, I was like, oh, look, I'm almost at double-digit numbers for some of these omnibuses that I'm ordering. Holy crap. Because we are getting like pre-orders like mad for these things. These are $150, $125 books. So this isn't like, Yeah. A lot more orders. So yeah, I think it's a nice combination of everything. And again, let's go back. It's Planetary Volume 1's out of print. I tried to reorder that this weekend, and it's gone. Planetary ones, it's because they did those 2 new volumes. Planetary's gone. Very little Wildstorm stuff available. I have to assume that stuff's going to start coming back. Lots of oddball stuff. Marvel's been cranking out the reprints of their Epic collections, cranking out the reprints of the omnibuses. But then there's things like Jason Aaron's Thor. They have released those 2 volumes out of print. Hickman's Avengers out of print. So they just can't keep up. I don't know where we are as far as how the printers are running. If they just don't want to sink extra money into it. I have to assume the sales were there, especially Jason Aaron's Thor run, complete collections. Like, those have to be selling.
I mean, I want the complete Jason Aaron Thor run.
Well, the omnibus will happen, but I'm talking about the soft covers they've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
That are like the modern epics.
The Wildstorm stuff, I think you're going to start seeing stuff next year.
I hope so.
Because that's the 30th anniversary of Wildcats.
That'd be great. I know we've got lots of the Wildcats characters or Wildstorm characters will start to show back up in DC books again after another absence. So we shall see. Anyway, good to see more creator-run stuff at DC. Hopefully this is not just a one-off. Hopefully this is the start of a thing. I'd be very happy.
So are you basically going to, if you got something that's killing the children, would you like this? Is that what you're basically going to do?
Yeah. I don't think I'll have any problem selling that book to people. It's a creator-run book with James Tynion, and people will buy it. So this is bumming me because I was hoping Kevin would be here so we could talk about this, but I'm still going to talk about it. Going up for, it's actually already up for auction. At auction right now at Heritage Auction is a piece of original artwork. Now, I don't normally talk about this type of stuff here, except this is a very important piece of artwork. You should go search for this on Heritage Auction. It's called The History of the DC Universe Hardcover Collection Gatefold Poster Jam Illustration. It's a lot of words. History of the DC Universe Jam Illustration Auction. That's all I gotta look up. So if you're not familiar with what this was, back in the late 80s, post-crisis, they created this book called History of the DC Universe. And it was like, now the crisis is over, we're going to go through and kind of fix up the continuity. We're going to do like a full timeline. I believe it's a pull-out poster inside the hardcover version. I believe that's what it is this jam piece featuring all sorts of characters, all sorts of DC characters. This was later reproduced as the wall of DC Comics back in the New York location, and it was released as like a limited print. What is up for auction is the original art. So because it's a jam piece, you kind of have multiple people working on it. So it's sort of piecemeal between 3 larger pages that have a lot of pieces and then a couple one-offs that were inserted as space was made and things were, maybe other people couldn't do it live with the jam piece, so they sort of had to insert these people. But you get the entire original art as well as a full black and white, like the composited piece, and then the print that they did later. This, in my mind, I is one of, if not the most important pieces of comic art that's ever been created. Because you have, on this jam piece, I'm not going to read every single character and name, but I'm just going to give you a list of people that have worked on this. You have Jim Aparo, Stephen Bissett doing Swamp Thing. You have Dennis Cohen doing The Question. P. Craig Russell. Martin Nodell, the creator of Alan Scott Green Lantern, doing that. Joe Stanton. Apparently I am going to read every name because every single name is worth reading. Dave Stevens, Bill Sienkiewicz, Jack Kirby, Keith Giffen, Al Williamson doing the Ray, Michael Kaluta, Gene Colan, Again, I don't even Brian Boland, Jim Starlin, Joe Kubert, Arthur Adams, Walt Simonson, Mike Grell, George Perez, Howard Chaykin, Carmine Infantino, Jim Steranko, Neil Adams, Dave Gibbon doing Rorschach. Again, it's everyone. Matt Wagner. So again, think of the time period. You got to think late '80s. So you got to think of the people that would have been there and the golden age people that were still alive. Bob Kane, obviously doing Batman and Robin. Joe Orlando, Steve Rude doing Mr. Miracle. So Dick Giordano. There's a couple of these characters now that to a modern DC fan's going to be like, who the hell are these people? But this was a history. This takes every character, major characters from all the different worlds that DC bought, the different companies, the different iterations. Again, you have Swamp Thing and Watchmen in here, along with Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. They all sign this piece. These are the greatest comic artists of all time, all working on this piece together. It's nothing like this has ever been made. Nothing like this will ever be made again. The current bid is at $41,000. Again, this is one of the heritage auctions, so I'm not sure how it works. I think it really just kind of when the actual auction hit, that number starts just spiraling up. I've got to find out what this sells for. I'm so curious. It's going to go for. It has to just go for hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I don't know, $1 million. I have no idea. But this is one of the most important pieces of comic artwork ever. This thing is so cool, and I'm actually man, I'm jonesing for that print. I might see how much that, because they made a lot of them. They made 10,000 of them. It's not like it's super limited. Because I have the hardcover. But this, I love this piece of artwork. And I was like, I texted Kevin, or I put on Twitter for Kevin Sharp. I was like, so Kevin, are we going 50-50 on this? Are we gonna split this? Because this thing is incredible. And if you do find the auction link on Heritage, they actually have a little 3-minute video they made, the sort of history of the piece. They show it at the DC office, and they show you all the different parts of it, and it's a cool little video they made. It's short, but it's neat to watch it. It's a cool little piece. I've loved this thing since the first time I saw it. I really, really want to see where this goes. It's one of those. It belongs in a museum type of pieces. We'll see what ends up happening. With this.
So the question is,
keep your eye on it.
Are you actually just going to bid, just to put a bid in, to say you bid on it?
No. Heritage. What was that, Toby?
Already done. Good thing.
Me. Yeah. No, I wish. It's an incredible.
What if you do some incredible numbers in the next 10 days?
Okay, Toby. If I pull in, let's say this goes for $750. Yeah, sure. If I clear $750,000 in the next week and a half, I'll spring for this piece. Yeah, I think I'll do it.
How many listeners you got here? Or regulars?
eBay. We gotta start getting eBay going.
Yeah, let's make this happen.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff.
I want this at the store, so let's make this happen.
I love it. It's so beautiful. It's just such a cool piece. I love this thing forever. And I hope. It'd be really cool to actually see this in a museum. See this the Comic Art Museum, or not just to get sucked into some private thing and just sit there forever. I would really like to see this out and doing tours, maybe at Comic-Con or yeah.
It's great that Sandman's represented, because isn't that Kane or Abel? Down by Black.
I mean, Kane and Abel predate Sandman. I mean, they were House of Secrets and House of Mystery. But yeah. I mean, Swamp Thing. it kind of takes that Vertigo era.
I love the Warlord just hiding in the back there near Aquaman and Power Girl.
Well, and yeah, I think Warlord's one of those pieces that's his art is so different than some of the other styles that are in here, and I really like that. You get the classic Silver Age Zatanna and Zatanna as well, I like them together. Lady Blackhawk's cool. You get Brother Eye. Oh, sorry, OMAC. You get OMAC. Just what's his face? A Plastic Man, like stretching his arm across the entire panel. Like, love that stuff. Love that stuff. All right, that's our news stories. Yeah, we do have to talk about Superman and Lois here. And then I got a question. I got a question on Patreon. We'll get to that. And like I said, yeah, nice short episode this week. So we'll do spoilers here for a few minutes. Talk about Superman and Lois. Caught up for the last few. I haven't seen tonight's episode, so obviously that's, we air as it airs. We record as it airs. So nothing I can do about that. Brock, you said you have not seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and try and watch them.
You want to though?
Yeah. No, I want to. Okay. Apparently Flash starts tonight too.
Oh, Flash has already been on.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, they've already done 2 episodes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Flash is at a couple.
See, I don't have TV anymore, so I just.
That's okay. Well, they pop up on the app the next day, right?
Yeah, that's how I watch them. I don't have cable anymore, so I just use the Roku and the CW TV app.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten that far yet. So,
man, I mean, we talked about the first episode. And I figured we'd, I don't know that we need to, again, discuss this on a WandaVision like level, but it's really good.
Yeah, it is. So I watched episode 3 today, actually, because I realized I never watched last week's. And that opening alone with the sort of painting at home and then Clark stops. And I love the fact that he didn't rush off to Metropolis or something nearby in Smallville. He rushed off to save a bridge in China.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the sort of global aspect of how they're using Superman.
The friend of mine commented, he's like, it's great to see those like 3 or 4 minutes of superheroics. He goes, but the rest of the show is so good. I almost don't care if they don't even do that. But I like that they're doing like the one. He's kind of Superman's getting a scene in every episode with powers, fighting or saving someone with abilities. And that is great because they very easily could just be like, whatever. Superman shows up in the premiere and then the finale, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I like the way, and like we do have plenty of times when he's showing up to fight a quote unquote bad guy or whatnot, but there's something nice about just seeing Superman get some time to fight a natural disaster or something like that.
Oh yeah, I love that stuff.
I really like the just Superman saving people.
Yep. Well, and I think I don't know if they just found a way to fake it better. Toby, maybe you got some input on this, but man, the effects are just fantastic. I'm maybe not ready to say like film quality, movie quality, but they are. I
laugh because as you, Ryan, have quoted saying that Black Panther is PlayStation 2 quality, and that you can't see through this stuff. I'm just
Black Panther had some really rough special effects. I'm sorry, man. That big battle at the end needed a couple more passes. Most of the MCU stuff is really, really good.
They're getting a lot better at faking it, but they're not that much higher than what it was before. But they're getting better at masking it, and so therefore it's a lot better. But it's a notch above, right? It's definitely a notch above. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not as much as you think it is. But
and that's what I mean. they're doing a very good job with the budget and the ability that they have. It's not, like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are straight up full budget blockbuster MCU movie budget.
These guys got to make it last for 24 episodes, right? Or 13? How many?
I don't think it's. Yeah, I want to see Superman and Lois is like 13. I don't think it's
actually,
24.
I actually really, really hope it is, because I don't know if they can make it keep interesting for full 13 episode seasons. I mean, for 24 episode seasons.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 24, but I could have sworn it's something like 18 or something.
Oh, is it? Look, as long as there's the story, right? I just don't want them to run out, because I'm actually enjoying the show for now. So
yeah. I kind of wonder. 15?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought more than I thought, but cool.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe 13. And I know they're on hiatus for a few weeks because they had to take a COVID break. I know shows are going to be kind of in and out.
Watching the Chicago series has been a nightmare. It's been like 2 episodes on, 3 weeks off, 1 episode on, 2 weeks off. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think it's weird. I heard a couple, like before the show came out, I read something that people were worried that they were sort of sidelining Lois's plot. That was like some rumor that was coming out for some of the writers, that people that have been like left the writing staff. But so far,
I think it was
don't
one
see that
person who left the writing staff.
Okay, I don't see that at all. So I wonder what that was all about. But I feel like it's very well. I think the kids get the most time, but it's very equal, Lois and Clark after that. I do wonder where they go season 2 with the kids. I feel like, the
grandpa takes them on a space adventure and then they age up real quick.
Well, they're going to be 30 next year, so I think they're fine. They're the 14-year-olds that look like they're like 28, because they probably are 24 in real life. But I don't know where they go 5 seasons in. I'm assuming, you can get away with a season of teenage dickhead, attitude problems. I don't know that you could stretch that into a multiple season thing, but I mean, I guess, whatever. The kid's age, there will be more plots.
So they adopted Damien?
Well, so that was the big rumor, right? When the show started, they saw the 2 kids, and people were like, "Oh, it's Damien and John." Like we don't, like, how are they going to do this? And it's not Damien. It's a new. I mean, as far as we know, it's Superman's. He had twins, and one of them has powers and one of them doesn't. And there could be another twist past that. I don't think. I kind of assume, I'm just going to take this at face value, but it's real cool. The effects are great. The plot's been great. It definitely is like a visual level up from the CW shows, because I did watch Flash right after Superman and Lois. It just, the film quality, the way it's styled,
it's a bit jarring.
Yeah, but the CW shows are the CW shows. I've never thought, they've had great episodes, but I've always understood they are working on a budget or a style that is what it is. I'm never going to compare it to something else. So the fact that Stargirl and Superman and Lois they look pretty much remarkably better. I wonder if we're going to get more in that style going forward.
I'm really curious on the Stargirl one, because that wasn't produced for the CW.
Right.
Similar to like the first season of Supergirl. How there was like a notable change between the first season and the second season of the show.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see if Stargirl's production quality doesn't change a bit, but we'll see.
We'll find out. I would hope it stays the same. I mean, if they can pull it off for Lois and for Superman and Lois, I don't see why they couldn't pull it off for Stargirl. Oh, I guess related, we did get our first shot of Eclipso. showed Eclipso in was like Entertainment Weekly or something like that. He's maybe a little over designed, but I mean that's pretty standard for this stuff. He looks cool though. I like him.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the big bad for Stargirl season 2. I don't know what a Shade is the only other one I think is supposed to be in it. I don't know if they've cast him. I don't remember. But they kind of tease him at the end. But Shade. Oh, I can't wait for Shade. Are we going back to Superman and Lois for a second? Are we supposed to know who that guy is that he fights in the last episode? The big. Okay, like they didn't name him. Like he's not a character that we're supposed to know.
No, they didn't name him, and then there was the scene with him after that creates more questions.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was like, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a character. Like, did they say his name and I just totally missed it? But yeah. Toby, how you feeling? Charlie, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm
what big guy
thoroughly invested in the show.
Superman fought a big guy?
Yeah. Yeah, hit the guy that was going after Lois, and she hits the little button, and dude.
Yeah. I thought that was Metallo. I was almost certain of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be. I haven't looked up.
I don't think I ever named him, but yeah, like when Superman is fighting him, I was like, "That's Metallo."
When she hits that button, and it's just boom. They do not mess around with Superman's power in this show.
No, it's really well done. I really, really, really like the show. So.
It's pretty great. Like, you don't get a point of view of him like, oh, and then flying over. It's just like, boom, he's there. It's cool. It's a cool effect. Like I really like the fight scenes of Man of Steel when he's fighting Ursa and the other Kryptonians. This is like kind of on that level. They do a pretty amazing job with his powers. Again, fighting inside a hotel room. Okay, sure, one of those punches should have blown the entire building apart. Yada. I could still kind of hand wave away that problem, but it's not. It's just such a cool moment that it's kind of in that first episode when he just takes that guy through the wall, like in that like super slow-mo shot. But it's not like, people hate Zack Snyder's like constant overly done slow-mo. Like it's not that sort of problem. It's just a really neat, really cool shot. Yeah, Superman and Lois. Good times. I'm
actually in the middle of rewatching MOS in pieces. Like I watched a bit for lunch, I watched a little bit for dinner.
You trying to get everything.
Those jackasses really messed my plans up because, as Charlie has told me, there's a new version of BVS coming out the same day, so I can't watch that early. Really annoying, which is really, really annoying because I was going to plan it all out.
Yeah, I don't think it's new footage. It's the full screen IMAX.
So it's kind of like that Transformers one that Walmart released for Transformers 2. Basically, it's got the IMAX. Well, actually, that one has the IMAX scenes in it, which the regular Blu-ray doesn't.
Right.
But this one, basically, the IMAX scenes are in that weird format, and some shots got regraded. That's really all it is. But I'm like, if I'm gonna rewatch it, I'm gonna rewatch it before I watch GL Max. So
just gonna watch the regular version.
You're gonna watch the regular one?
No. Well, I'm saying you could get up Thursday morning, just work from home, and you got 7.5, 8 hours. That's fine.
Yeah, I may do it in pieces. But no, I'm rewatching MOS, and I'm like thoroughly enjoying it. I really, really, really like that movie. Actually,
it's been a while since I watched it. Maybe I'll do an all Snyder marathon on Thursday. I have a day off. I got nothing to do. I'll watch all 3 movies.
All 3 extended movies?
There's no extended for Man of Steel, is there?
No, but you're talking about 3.5 hours for BVS and possibly 4 hours for
Yeah, 4 hours, 2 minutes, and
another
change.
2 hours, and another 2 hours for MOS.
Was it MOS 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 or something like that. Yeah.
So that's you're going.
Yeah,
that was a good.
That's not even a Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like that's not even extended Lord of the Rings. It's fine. It's fine. 10 hours. Are you going to
include Suicide Squad or Wonder Woman?
No. Just the Snyder stuff. Just the Snyder stuff.
Snyder.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do it. Be good stuff. It is gonna. So the bigger version is going to be on HBO Max on Thursday as well.
That's what I've seen reported. Yeah.
Okay. Man, maybe I will just kick back and watch all 3 in a row because I'm assuming Man of Steel's on HBO Max too. Just watch all 3.
Yeah,
it is. Is it 4K
right now? Yeah.
Is it 4K?
Don't have a 4K TV, so I don't care.
I don't think Man of Steel is, at least. So it, for the most part, they have not released a lot of stuff in 4K, which is what kind of makes the BVS release interesting to me, because assuming that does land on HBO Max, and assuming that is in 4K, this will be the first non-theatrical release that they've put out in 4K. And I'm kind of counting the Justice League as under that theatrical umbrella.
Yeah.
But I would not count the BVS, so that would give me some hope that they'll start increasing their 4K library.
X-Men First Class is on HBO Max. That's kind of odd. It's an HBO thing. It's not a Warner Brothers thing. Yeah, Batman. HBO. Yeah, they are both just listed as HD. They're not 4K. Yeah, so I'm not like Joker. Joker's not 4K. Birds of Prey's not 4K. They're just listed as HD.
Yeah. As I said, so far they've only been doing the full
theatrical ones.
Same day theatrical in 4K, but the report I read suggested that the BVS would be in 4K also.
Okay.
So assuming that actually happens, then that potentially opens up the window for them to expand their library a bit more, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm super stoked for is that on Thursday, everybody sits down to watch this, and they end up watching an hour of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Even like Harley Quinn is not 4K, and that was
what?
That was 4K on DC.
I watched.
There's nothing other than the movie stuff that's been put in 4K there so far.
Okay. Sorry, Toby, say that.
Oh, I watched the Tom and Jerry. It was okay.
Yeah.
I wanted more.
It was fine.
Yeah, but I wanted more. It felt like a non Tom and Jerry movie with Tom and Jerry in it.
Yeah, not a huge. I like Tom and Jerry, like old school stuff, but no interest in a CG.
What I did like though is the way they made it work is just all the animals that are animated in this world. It's just normal. So
that's cool.
Actually makes sense. Well, in a movie verse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Literally every animal is animated. So you get it right away when you watch it. It's like they're just.
Toby hasn't acknowledged my favorite part. My favorite part is in the pound where they pass a droopy dog that looks like he's done up like Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, that was actually pretty funny. that was actually pretty funny. I actually kind of laughed at that one. I mean, there were parts in there that I snickered about and enjoyed, and I liked Jerry in it. I never thought of Jerry as a sociopath until she called him that. I'm like, actually, maybe. But I don't know. Overall, it just didn't feel like. Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't feel right. But I guess I tried. Tim Story, though, isn't he the director for the 2 Fantastic Four movies, or at least one of them?
Is he?
I think he did the Rise one, didn't he? I think so. If memory serves right. I did this without looking it up, and now I'm going to look at my device that tells me the world.
I just watched Ip Man the other day, so that's
Which one?
Movie watching. The first one. I've never seen it.
Which one?
The first one.
Which first one?
The what's his face? Donnie Yen? Yeah, Donnie Yen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because there's 5 different franchises.
Yeah.
I watched all 4 of those movies not too long ago.
Yeah. We're gonna watch them. All right.
Here we go.
This is short.
Filmography. Tom and Jerry, 2021.
Filmography?
Yeah. You go all the way back. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Fantastic Four.
Filmography. I like that. Yeah.
Wait, how do you say it? Filmography.
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 Whatever.
Filmography. We got a question here.
Who's it from?
It's from oh, wait, what? Hold on. I got two questions. I had a second question. Well, I got one question, and we'll answer this. They were actually both about Future State, which is why I had them up here. And I don't know where my other question went. Well, we'll do this one first. First question comes from Brian, and he says, "Hey, guys, what did you think of Future State? Any books that were your favorites or disliked? I thought it was okay. I'm curious, does anyone think anything will come out of these books for future books?" Anyone want to jump on this? Brock, you're all caught up, yeah? I have a couple to still read.
I'm all caught up on the Future State stuff. So, like, the Batman Future State stuff is definitely what's going on. Like, what happened there, when we jump back, that's the past in that timeline for the Batman stuff. Because we have the magistrate and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that stuff seems like it's sticking with it. My least favorite book out of it all was the Kara Supergirl book, Kara Jor-El or Kara whatever. That book was not the best.
Yeah, that was okay.
No, it was. Out of all the Future State books, I felt that they gave you at least something that would be practical. Like the Swamp Thing gave you kind of that, you had something, that had a Swamp Thing vibe. The Robin Eternal was really good. The Green Lantern one was amazing. With just that huge battle scene that they were dealing with. The Superman stuff is not done yet, so I don't know if that's tying in. It seems to kind of tie in, at least with Jonathan.
Well, they leave it kind of open that, like bad shit's going to happen. So.
Yeah. So, because we still have, is there another one at House of L?
No, it's a Future State's done.
Aren't we getting another?
The only one that hasn't come out is Superman
Imperious
versus Lex Luthor. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was, I think that was kind of a separate thing that they kind of put into Future State.
Yeah. But no, I mean, overall, I felt, they had some really good ones. They had some that, were interesting. And then there was only a handful that I was just like, I did not like.
Yeah. One of the weirdest ones I thought was the Harley Quinn book. The art was really hard to tell what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just very it was kind of like animation cell, like how am I going to describe it? Like very dark colors and not a lot of thick lines. So it was hard to tell what I was looking at. The story was fine. Yeah, I found most of them. There was a couple I really liked, a couple I kind of disliked, and most of them were okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know. A lot of them, I'm not sure if people are going to care if there's a lead in to these stories. They're going hard on Batman, which is cool. That's fine. I know our orders for the next Batman, the next miniseries with Second Son, were pretty minimal. So we'll see if that picks up. Wonder Girl should do really, really well, but she feels like that character can kind of stand alone and do her own thing. The Magistrate stuff with the Batman books, yeah, if that's like a couple year build up in Batman, I'm not sure if people will care, but we'll see.
The payoff wasn't there. There was no real payoff for that Magistrate stuff yet.
Well, there's more, right? It's the sort of middle of the story, right? We're getting build up in the books. We're getting in that Gotham book, so they're gonna do more with it. So I think this was sort of a test, and then they'll take what they like and kind of flesh it out. Yeah, because a few of them, like the Supergirl book was just like, and then the story's over, and okay, it's just a random story with future Supergirl. Okay, that's fine. The Legion one was kind of nothing.
Yeah. The Aqua Girl one was.
Aquaman was fine.
It was okay.
Yeah, it was
in the future, but then in the past.
Yeah. Like if you're a Wally fan, like Flash, kind of were like, oh fuck, here we go again. But
hey,
they do a good job
again.
Well, but they explained the story. I mean, he was taken over and blah blah blah. So a lot of the stuff they'll Justice League I thought was pretty good. I like the team up.
Yeah, that was Suicide Squad was interesting.
And that's too right. The pitch here is that these are sort of like future stories of new stuff coming. So I think books like Teen Titans, Green Lantern, Suicide Squad, some of these books have much more connection. A few of them are just like, we're never gonna. Oh, Swamp Thing was much more connected. But some of these are like, we're never gonna see this version again. Like this is just gone forever.
But people need to pick up that Swamp Thing though.
Yeah,
the new one,
yeah,
it's real good.
Really good
from Ranby.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So the other question was from Hunter Patrick, and he says, "Sorry, this has been talked about, but what are your thoughts on the end of Future State? I read everything and found maybe 15% of it not dull, so 85% of it dull. That's a bit harsh. I'm more positive than that, but I don't. I guess it could have been 6 months." And people would have like really lost their shit.
Oh God! 6 months, it was
I think it was 2 months for a cool challenge. It was a cool idea. People kind of came in. Number ones did very well for us. The number twos did not. Not that they didn't do well. They just didn't do as well. The number ones did very, very well. So I think there's interest in some of these takes on these characters, but when the main DC books are doing so well, these have to be even more special because there's really almost no connection to these characters for anyone. So next Batman is tough when Batman is doing so well.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Overall though, I would say a little, like, I don't want to say like New 52, don't take it like to the same degree, but in a similar fashion, the books that were good, I thought were really good. The couple that I kind of disliked were really bad. And then most of them were fine. Yeah.
It was better than Convergence.
Well, Convergence was trying to do something different. And I liked the idea of Convergence. I like seeing the characters, but the stories were just... I wish they weren't stuck on their like little fake planet Earth. I wish, because they kind of had to explain Convergence in every story.
Yeah.
I wish they would have just been like, I mean, that's not Convergence, so I don't know how they would have done it, but it would have been like a 2-issue Justice Society story, a 2-issue Captain Carrot story. Cool. Let's go for it. Charlie, if there's a 2-volume omnibus Future State, is this something you pick up or is this a pass?
This is something I will read when it hits the app, but I don't think I would buy an omnibus of, just like I haven't bought an omnibus of a lot of the other, not Year of the Villain, but the Villain Month omnibus and stuff like that they've done. I've never
the DC
really
Zeros,
jumped into that stuff.
Rebirth number ones, the New 52 number ones.
Yeah, I feel like this is not so dissimilar from DC 1 Million, but those were more kind of like origin based and.
Okay, I do have the DC 1 Million omnibus.
Well, that's really good.
There's a difference.
Yes, there is.
Toby, I know you picked up a couple of these. Did you get a chance to go through any of these yet, or you just?
Yeah, I read some of them. I'll come back to it when I read, because I do want to read all the ones I bought because those were the ones I was curious about. So. I read some of the early Batman ones. I thought they were a little slow, I actually I do want to read these and finish them. So let me get back to all of this because at least the ones I bought, because I did buy quite a bit. I remember like being semi annoyed because quite a few of them was curious about. So I bought quite a few of them.
Like I like Nightwing, and the setup for Batgirl's, whatever you think of the story in this book, the fact that this will give us a Batgirl's comic is great. So the end result for a lot of this stuff is really good.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the Batman stuff I really wanted to read. Well, pretty much all the ones I bought, which is a lot of it, I really wanted to read. So I want to get through it, and then I'll pass judgment then, I guess. But I am very, very psyched for new DC Infinite Frontier DC.
Yeah, I really want to get your opinion on Nightwing that came out this week, the Tom Taylor Nightwing. Sorry, the Tom King Nightwing book.
CBR calls it, right?
What's that?
That's what CBR calls it.
Yeah.
Now it's Tom Ming now.
Tom Ming, I saw that.
Tom King Nightwing already happened. It's on the racing.
Yeah. No, the Tom Taylor's Nightwing reviews have been fantastic. So, yeah, the next Batman one is interesting. It's a it's a cool concept, right? Sure, okay. Batman, Bruce Wayne's gone, so who's the next person to pick up the mantle? I don't know.
There's too much going on in the Fox family, and with the stuff with Batwing and all that stuff, and it kind of feels like there's just too much. There's too much going on in the personal life.
Maybe. Yeah, how do I put this? I think Batman is successful. I think people can. Bruce Wayne is a character that how am I trying to word this? Batman can be like the super jerk. Bruce Wayne isn't generally. Right, he can be, but he isn't. Not Tim. What's his?
Well,
I'm blanking on his name.
I don't even remember.
It's horrible.
Well, Lucius is like pissed off now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Tim. Why, man? I was completely blanking on his name here. Tim. Both Tim's Batman and Tim Fox were kind of assholes, and there just wasn't a very likable character. Maybe it's hard to tell.
Well, and I think it's like, for me, the weird part was he's a, like, they go, oh, you're just gonna party, or you're just gonna fail, or you're just gonna do whatever, and you're like, huh? Like it seems like they took that Bruce Wayne Playboy like thing and ratcheted it up with him.
He was separate from the Fox family, and so he's sort of like the the guy coming back to he sort of abandoned his family and came back. Yeah. But I don't know. I just felt like he was a tough character to sort of relate with. There wasn't at least in the issues, there wasn't like I'll say good motivation, but I don't know. The story's just not done with him yet, so maybe that's what I'm feeling.
Well,
like I
just had difficulty with like Lucius Fox being pissed off at his wife and them fighting about big topics, and then the kids are fighting about big topics, and then it's like it's this whole dynamic of the family just arguing. And you're like, huh? Like
maybe that's what it was. Like I said, just something felt off. A big part of the Bat family is, Batman may be wrong, Batman may go off and do his own thing, but by the end of the story, they do kind of come back together, and he may need a reminder every 6 to 8 issues that they're better with the whole family. But this has been a very modern Batman thing, that the Bat family is such a big part of Bruce Wayne's life. And this is sort of starting that over, and it's cool to be kind of the lone wolf and him out there doing his own thing, but you sort of miss the connection of the other characters, and there was something wasn't quite clicking with me with that. So we got that next miniseries coming up, which I think it sounds like more of a backup or backstory
Probably.
I think it's more like it's before.
It's the stuff. I think it's the stuff that leads up to him, like picking up the mantle or something. I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know I'm going to check it out, but.
Oh yeah. No, I'll pick it up. It wasn't horrible. Something wasn't quite clicking with me, and I want to see what
it felt like. Succession was and trying to have superheroes in it.
Like what?
Like Succession, the HBO show with the media conglomerate guy that and his kids are fighting over stuff.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with it, and that's it. That's a wonderful, wonderful, brief but not Bryce brief podcast. We're going to let you go early because next week, strap in, laddies. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a long podcast. We have to thank some wonderful Patreon backers.
The sacrifices that we are making. Oh.
Snyder Cut.
Hopefully my new chair is in by then.
Snyder Cut, but also for the MCU fanboys, we're doing some Falcon Winter Soldier next week too. I can't imagine we'll talk on any other topics than those two. Maybe not even those two. Maybe we'll never get through the Snyder Cut. We'll see. We'll see how crazy we go. But thank you to Joe Duff, Jesse Peterson at the Comic Book Matters podcast, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum podcast, Andrew Nelson Mendez at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast, and Craig Anderson at Clear Path Coaches. Please go follow all those wonderful, beautiful people. Check out geekbox.net, comicconspiracypodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify for all our previous episodes. Actually, our episodes aren't on geekbox.net anymore. I don't know if Ryan's changed his site up yet. Our episodes are just at Comic Conspiracy Podcast. I mean, we're still doing Geekbox. We're still in their thing. Just Ryan's changing up the site to just be the most recent episodes. So, but you can always find us there at Comic Conspiracy Podcast. Patreon.com/comicconspiracies where you can go to kick us a couple bucks. Always appreciated. Hit us up on our Patreon. Comicsconspiracy.biz with an S. Comicsconspiracy.biz is our storefront. You can purchase comics. Brock will ship them.
Yep.
Usually Brock will ship them. Usually it's Brock. Sometimes it's me. Usually it's Brock. Lots of good books on there.
Everything out of that store.
I ship occasionally. All our new books are up there every week. Lots of good stuff. Conspiratobrock.com. That's Brock's blog. Video pull list, unboxing videos, and all this other stuff is over there. Yep. Charlie's got the Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. It's all about Doctor Who. Check out Charlie's podcast.
All Who, all the time.
Kevin, who should be here next week for the 12-hour
beast of a podcast,
Snyder Cut podcast.
Between the panels, first rated episode was Endgame, where we got so much hate after the episode, where people were yelling at us on live reviews and turned us off and never came back and
Endgame
listen again.
Did we?
I think it's Endgame. I've been pretty sure.
Endgame was the one that broke some people.
Yeah, well, I think it's also the episode where a lot of people decided to tune in, and unless they knew us, they very much tuned right back out. So,
they said, well, that's their own fault.
Yeah, that was not the right episode to tune in on. So I'm like,
hey, let's check out this podcast for the finale, of this 15-year thing or 10-year thing. Well, maybe we'll get that Snyder Cut bump.
Yeah,
people want to hear our opinions.
Yeah, but we'll see how we fare afterwards. I think I got a lot of hate after that one.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Check out Between the Panels, fanbasepress.com. That's Kevin Sharp's weekly interview series. New episodes go up, or new episodes, articles go up every week. And LeanneHale.com. That's my wife, Leanne. Find her artwork there, as well as etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt.
What is she working on?
Go on. What's that?
What is she currently working on? Anything besides the tarot cards?
Oh, yeah. She's doing a WandaVision piece. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I forgot. That'll be up soon. If you're on Twitter, you can follow us. I'm Ryan Higgins. Ryan. Brock is BES Basement. Best Basement. Go follow Brock. Toby is Toby XI. Charlie's Insanity and Chaos. Kevin is that Kevin Sharp, and the store is Comics Con Store. Please give us all a follow. And check out Geekbox. What the hell were we talking about last week? I have no idea.
Man, you really messed up, though. You really should have not told Bryce that it was 4 hours.
I know. I really shouldn't have. We'll get it.
You should have sent him a video camera and said, when you start watching, just press record.
And check out our good friends over at Manga Nations. They have lots of good manga and anime talk over there. Thank you, everyone. We will see you next week for the Snyder Cut. And, Falcon and Winter Soldier too, but mostly the Snyder Cut.